is Sean Ruddy, coming to you live from Death Manor. This must be her journal! Mildred is collecting souls to create the family she could never have in life.
I'm Vanessa Winter, the co-writer, co-director.
And I'm Joseph Winter. I'm a co-writer, co-director, and the star of DEADSTREAM.
Yeah, and this is a movie about a live streamer who is recovering from a controversy, and he films himself spending one night alone in a haunted house trying to win back his followers. And he makes the ghosts of the house really, really mad.
It is true, yeah. I was very skeptical at first because there was a legend behind the house that I didn't think was true. I just thought it was a local myth. But there were multiple crew members that kept reporting paranormal experiences, and some crew members were genuinely freaked out to be in certain rooms and to be alone to go get a piece of equipment or whatever. So I think I believe it now.
My favorite story that I love to tell is that there was a construction contractor that helped us repair certain parts of the house. And he's like a very intimidating, very physically strong guy. And inside the house, he was getting creeped out because he grew up in that small town and broke into it as a teenager. And he swears that he saw a woman standing in one of the bedroom windows. And you can tell that he still believes it, because even as an adult, he was pretty freaked out about being in there.
Why?
So you're the first person that's asked if I was okay, but this is not a complaint.
Answer is no.
So in the film, I complained a lot to Vanessa because it was incredibly uncomfortable. I didn't want to tell the crew members how uncomfortable it was, just because I felt really stupid because we wrote it for me and I was part of that process. And then, I was really, really uncomfortable. But afterward, so I had to wear this big apparatus that is kind of like this exoskeleton that has a camera on it, and that with this headband that's really, really tight and it's very front heavy. It gave me really bad headaches. And when we were done, I laid on the floor a lot with this apparatus and it hurt my shoulder. I had to go to physical therapy for a while to get my shoulder back to full movement. So yeah, I will just call it very uncomfortable, but it's not a complaint because I signed up for it and I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I kind of took it for granted until I wore the headset for a couple shots, and I got a headache after like 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, he's wearing this all day and sitting in a bathtub for 12 hours.
When we started shooting DEADSTREAM, it was on the very first day. I legitimately it was a really bad first day for the production. I was having regret about playing the role, and I for real wanted to not do it anymore. I mean, I knew we were going to and that I needed to finish out, but I was no longer excited about the craft of acting. I'd much rather just focus on directing and writing with Vanessa.
There wasn't really any improvisation. Joseph is naturally really funny and good at improvising. But because of the format that we had, trying to make it seem so seamless and cutting back and forth between cameras, it ended up getting really technical. So we had each shot timed out. We filmed all of the jokes, got really fine-tuned in rehearsals, so that on set it was more just about executing. So we just found that improvising wasn't really working for our production, and it was better to have it like very carefully rehearsed and timed. And one of the reasons too is just the beginning of our film is already kind of long. And so we wanted to make sure that even though it was a live stream, it had a really good pace to it. and didn't just start getting boring or meandering.
Yeah, as far as the horror comedy balance goes, Vanessa, I felt like as we were moving toward production and the script was getting rewritten, I felt that the personality that it took on was way more jokey than we originally thought, and it was more silly comedy. And so my goal was to make it creepy, like have some spookiness to it, but I didn't think we could pull off the scary. Vanessa was very determined to still pull off the scary because she thought if we're going to go have one guy exploring an abandoned haunted house, if it's not scary in some way, then we will have failed. So she was pushed really hard to make sure that we got it right. And I would say that it wasn't even until the last edit that we did where we finally got the timing right so that it made people jump. For me, what I brought to the table was the movie House and House 2, the American version of House. And the creatures in that and in Creepshow have a very distinct personality that I really love. And we wanted to bring that to the kind of things that were tormenting Sean. So yeah, that's what I brought to it. You want to talk about your inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, Sam Raimi, I was visiting a lot, just like how is he getting that balance? So that one's really obvious. And then found footage wise, I referenced Rec quite a bit because it has a very fast, almost real time propulsion feeling to it that I was trying to bring to our movie.
It happened so fast. We got the offer to participate, and then production had to happen just a few weeks later. And the only thing we could do to hit that deadline was to basically take what we had done in Deadstream, the crew, and with me as the main person operating the camera, and just go for that. So I didn't really think about it. We just did it, what we knew how to do already. And we also knew that because you don't see my face very much in VHS 99, that at our house, I could record more lines if we needed to change the story, which we did on Deadstream. So we knew we probably would. So it was just a convenience thing for us, but I'm not actually pursuing acting after this.
Yeah, but also you're really good.
No, thank you.
I love found footage and want to do another found footage movie sometime. But I also want to make more traditionally filmed horror movies.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like if there were, I love found footage too. And so we would not want to say we won't come back to it, but it would be nice to try something different next.
More horror. We have just started writing a couple scripts, and so we're going to kind of see which one emerges as the one that we want to make next. Some of them are more very horror comedy, and some of them are more horror with a little bit of comedy. But somewhere in that vein, I think will be our next project.
I don't want to be remembered as a douchebag.